Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess if you guys are new here. I'm very excited today because we are going to be attempting a 24-hour reading vlog. I love watching these reading vlogs and I've never had the chance to attempt one myself, mostly because I have a 9-to-5. And I think this time last year I kind of tried to do one, but I was doing one based on time and it just went far too long. So then I just gave up on the video idea. So this time we're going to be doing this on a true 24 hours. So we're going to start at a time and we will end at that same time tomorrow. And we're just gonna read as much as we possibly can. I'm going to be also transforming the living room tonight into a little bit of like a space for me to get really cozy. So I still have to do that. I don't want to disturb Ryan while he's trying to sleep. He has work tomorrow and I just have the day off. So I figure we will just hang out in here in this area. We'll probably like put something on the TV so that we can have something to keep me up. And otherwise, I don't quite know which books I'm going to be reading yet on this 24-hour reading vlog, but I am part of the way through, I think like 50% of the way through Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. So we'll certainly be reading that book. And then I have a few other books that are on my Kindle that we will go through. I also have a few books that are on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet. So maybe we'll go through some of those, but really I'm just gonna try to read anything that will keep me awake because I typically go to bed by reading, so I'm a little nervous because we're gonna be starting this kind of late. Anyway, let's just get started. I'm going to transform this space first and foremost and just kind of like clean things up so that I feel comfortable like being in here while I'm laying down and whatever, and then we will start the reading vlog. I don't think I have pulled an all-nighter maybe since like high school or college. No, definitely college. Probably since college though. Like I have had no reason post-college to pull an all-nighter, so it'll be interesting as someone who goes to bed at 9 p.m. It is currently 9:03 and I really don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we're gonna try. We're gonna do our best. I'm gonna go ahead and blow up the air mattress and all of that, and I'll check in with you guys when we officially start. All right. The air mattress has been made. P only freaked out a little bit. I don't really know why this is, but it brings me so much joy to use the air mattress in the living room, and I just think it's like a fun little party when we get to use the air mattress. We're just about to start our 24-hour reading vlog. It is 9:37 right now. I figure we'll start around 9:45, but before we begin, I thought I would tell you guys about Middle of the Night, which is the book that I'm currently reading. We're almost 50% of the way through. It says 47% on here. And basically what this book has been about is a guy who is now in his, I think, late 30s, early 40s, if I remember correctly. And years before, when he was a kid, he experienced his best friend disappearing out of a tent. And now he's come back. He has to live where he grew up with his parents. His parents don't live in the house anymore. They moved, but he's now staying in the house. And he thinks he's experiencing his friend returning. So he's kind of going through it. There's a lot of supernatural components on this book, which I kind of knew going into it. I think I've mentioned this before in other vlogs, but if I know that something is going to have a supernatural component, then that's fine with me. But if it's just like sprung on me as like a twist to the book, that's when I am not into it. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna like fill up my water bottle, start charging my phone, all of those little things. We have the Christmas tree lights and everything. So I'm actually very excited to be sleeping out here. And we're gonna do our best. I'm going to like try my hardest to stay up for as long as I possibly can. I also don't wanna like make myself sick or anything from just like staying up too late. So if I end up falling asleep, I do have alarm. I have an alarm set for 5:30 in the morning. I do have a fail-safe, if you will, by having that, and hopefully we won't have to use it, but we will see. Let me get all my things together and we're gonna get cozy and then we'll start the reading vlog. I'm gonna start in a sec, in literally a minute. Oh, actually it's 9:45 technically. If you have some questions though, I can start it late.
Why are you not sleep? You're not gonna sleep at all?
You're supposed to stay up.
Why did you set up a bed? You're gonna fall asleep on the bed.
No, I just to be cozy.
So you set up something to be cozy.
Just in case.
You did the thing that you literally fall asleep to every night. And you're like, yeah, but this time I'm not falling asleep.
I literally said that in the vlog. I was like, I fall asleep reading every single night, so it's gonna be a struggle, but I'm gonna try my best.
Why? Why not just sleep? What do you...
Because that's how you do a 24. That's the whole point.
You're gonna get to like 8 hours of sleep deprivation, and then you're not gonna be able to remember the last 3 words you read.
I'm gonna try my best. That's just how it works.
So is the objective to read as much as possible, or is the objective
you're just supposed to try to stay up 24 hours and read the whole time?
Don't you think you're making a mistake starting with the part where you have to stay up indefinitely? In 24 hours, you will have been up for 36 hours.
I was trying to make it so that it's like around your work schedule.
Power to you. Have fun. I think no matter what you try, I'm gonna catch you here asleep.
I probably will fall asleep at some point, but I'm gonna try not to. You don't believe in me?
I do, just not in this particular endeavor.
Oh. All right, well, Ryan distracted me and now it's past 9:45, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna set my timer to do 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. It is now 9:48. We're going to start now. I am now on chapter 17, but that has taken me I'm actually like 5 chapters later, not 2 chapters later. And now I have a prediction. Like I was saying, this whole time this book has been about a character whose best friend died. Basically, they were spending the night in a tent together, and then in the morning, the best friend was just like gone and didn't know what happened. And I guess the day before, something had occurred, and we're slowly like learning between like past and present timelines what happened that day before. So my prediction now is that maybe if this is a supernatural book, maybe the best friend was already dead. Our main character was seeing some sort of like ghost. I don't know, that would be kind of, the ghost that he's seeing now is not like a full body person, but I don't know, maybe. Let's keep reading. I probably have read like 30 minutes so far. Oh, almost an hour, 45 minutes. I'll check in with you guys every few hours if I don't have anything to say about the books in particular. It's just past midnight. I forgot that the lights turn off in the house after midnight, so all of them just turned off at once, and I just had to turn them back on. But a lot has been happening in the book, honestly. We're on page 200 now, so we've read quite a bit. I'm getting so tired already, so it's gonna be kind of a long night, I think. So far, my prediction has not come true, but we're still like learning more, so I'm not really sure. I mean, we have so much left. We're gonna continue reading and see what happens next. Okay, it's 3:30 right now. I don't know about you guys, but 3:30 in the morning and reading a book about ghosts is... I fell asleep for a little bit for about 3 hours because I really couldn't do it. I could not stay up. I feel so tired. I don't know the last time I felt this tired. I'm gonna continue reading. We have 4 hours left now of this book, and then we'll have the next book to read. I think we can do it. We got this. I'm gonna keep reading. So far, we're just continuing to learn more about like the backstory as to like why things are happening. But we have not, like the theory that I had has not happened. I don't even know if that is actually gonna happen now that I'm reading more, but let's see. Let's find out. It's officially 5:30 a.m. I've slept a total of about 4 hours across the 2 different times that I slept, and we have 16 minutes left of the timer. Oh, that's bright. I have the TV on because I was getting freaked out by reading a scary story in the dark. It's 7:15 now. Ryan is officially awake, so I can make a little bit of noise. I'm going to make myself a latte really fast because I need to not be so tired. I'm almost done with the book and I just need to finish it already so that we can move on to the next one. Whoa, I can't even think straight. Okay, let's make my coffee. Sleeping on an air mattress, like, it's fun when you're like playing video games or whatever, but when you sleep on it, your knees hurt. Or am I just 30? I don't know. Okay, Okay, something else just occurred to me. So there is the mom of our main character. It's interesting because these chapters that like go back in time, they cover like multiple characters. We have our main character as well. And his mom used to work at this place that's like really sketch. And they're trying to figure out, or like he's trying to deduce who her boss was, because he just feels like that person maybe had something to do with his best friend's passing or disappearance 30 years ago. Before she could answer, it went to a flashback chapter. And in this chapter, someone catches him. And I'm realizing there was something else that happened at the very beginning of the book. And maybe that's the person who is the boss. That could make a lot of sense. So maybe that's prediction number 2. I don't know. We'll see. My time is non-existent in my brain anymore. And like, I feel so tired yet so awake at the exact same time, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, I've changed locations for a moment. I'm in the kitchen and I actually have this massive candle and I've propped up my Kindle on the candle so that I can like be like not with my head down, you know what I mean? These are like all of the things that I'm slowly like ergonomic mouse, making sure my head is straight, making sure my arm doesn't hurt, making sure my knees don't hurt. These are all the things that have been happening lately and I'm like, wow, I really am 30. Right now in my book, we just took P on our walk and I was reading while I was on the walk, and then I also played Frisbee with him outside. So he's now taken care of and now I can focus back in on reading. And right now the police are suspecting somebody had something to do with this disappearance of this boy 30 years ago. And I don't think that this is the person. I really just don't believe in this theory. I like when books like throw theories at you so that you can kind of like pick and choose which one you think is the most likely, and then eventually they like obviously tell you which one it is, but this one just does not feel likely. And if it is the one, like that would be a twist. 13 hours left of the challenge, so I'll check in with you guys again when I have 12 hours left, but I'm just continuing to read and we're gonna finish this book as fast as we possibly can. Let's just keep going. It's getting like pretty intense, and like now I'm in the moment of like I need to know everything because so many different theories are being thrown at me and I need to know which one it is. I'm so confused. I didn't see that coming. Something just got thrown in that I don't really know how it fits in yet. What? Okay, well, thank God we're not going to a chapter that's like in the past because I need to know more information. Okay, I quickly just changed and got kind of ready for the day so that I wasn't just like in pajamas. I actually feel very awake. I don't know what's going on with my face though. I have like a bump right here and just like red marks everywhere. So I don't know what's happening, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know if it's because I slept in the living room, like maybe a bug got me. I couldn't tell you, but we're gonna go sit outside. I thought it would be a nice little change up to sit out here. We've officially hit the 12-hour mark. So we have 12 hours to go. We'll be done by like just before 10 p.m. tonight, which feels like a little bit of a struggle, but you know what? We're gonna do our best. It actually works out because Ryan's gonna go skate tonight anyway. So let me go grab a hat actually because the sun is actually pretty bright, and then we'll continue our reading. Okay, I'm not gonna give you guys any spoilers obviously, but I think that our main character just found out who it was. Like he's finally remembering everything that happened and like what happened to his friend. And I need explanations because I don't know. I don't know yet. But we'll find out, I guess. I don't know. That's crazy if it is who it is. Also, if that is the case, I thought that it was going to be so much more sinister. I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, let's keep reading. So something else has happened now. We partially discovered what happened to the kid, but then someone else went missing and we maybe know who took that person. It's a whole, there's so many mysteries in this book. Also, P has joined me up here. He loves he loves sitting on this top step because it gets so much sun and it just stays really warm, but then the concrete on the steps stays really cool. So he loves it here and he's joined me up here. But we're officially on chapter 33. There are 36 like real chapters, but there was all of like the other chapters in between. So there's actually a few more chapters, basically. I don't really know how else to describe that. But anyway, we're getting so close. We probably have like 30 minutes left of the book. I think I thought I had an hour earlier, and I definitely had more than an hour, but let's just finish this now and then we'll have to move on to our next book, which I'm still trying to debate. I really wanted to read The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, but I don't know if I can actually finish that by today. So I'm gonna have to like see which books I have available to me that are on the shorter side, because I want to finish a little bit more than just that. Maybe we'll finally read a Frida book, because I've been meaning to read The Boyfriend for a while. We'll see. But anyway, this is getting very intense, so let's continue. Okay, the plot twist in this book is crazy. Plot twist. It was, wait, I'm trying to decide if this is a spoiler or not. I now know who it was, which I'm clearly not going to tell you guys. That's obviously a spoiler. But what I'll say is it's like opposite of, like, there's books where everything seems like it's like a normal story, maybe like a murder mystery or something like that, and then there's a plot twist that it's supernatural. It's like opposite of that. So this whole time he's thinking that something is supernatural, and there's multiple people involved in actuality. Which is like kind of a cool plot twist, because I think I get upset when it's a JK with supernatural plot twist, but this type of plot twist that's opposite is like someone looking for answers for so long and then finally finding them, and they were all rooted in reality instead of in the supernatural. Wow. Okay, let's learn more about why it happened, because we know who it was but we don't know why. So I only have a few chapters left. Wow, the ending and the whys and the, I don't know, it's just, that was very intriguing. I don't even know how else to describe it. I actually really enjoyed that one. I'm trying to decide what I should even give it, because it was so good. I'm between a 4 and a 5 star. I'm undecided still. I liked that by the end. It's creeping me out that that's open. I need to close that. I liked that by the end of it, there were still some supernatural elements that took place in the book. So it wasn't like supernatural and then like totally normal. The supernatural elements were throughout the entire story, but there were some normal explanations or like real life explanations that took place that I think made it feel more real. Like it felt more like someone who was going through a lot of grief, and so the only way he knew how to describe it or explain it away in his head was through the supernatural, and then eventually he discovered what actually happened. There were still some supernatural elements which I think honestly just like added to the story instead of like taking away at all. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was the perfect amount of supernatural. So I can't decide what to give it. I feel like I want to give it a 5 star because I really, really enjoyed that one. I don't think that I'm trying to think of like my tier ranking video, and I don't think that it would beat The Green Mile still, but that one was really, really good. So yeah, wow, that was fantastic. Okay, on to the next one. We have just about 10 hours left. We have exactly 9 hours and 56 minutes. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and that one is 368 pages. What about The Great Alone? 435. Let's see if we could read The Boyfriend. Usually Frida McFadden's books are like very quick reads for me, and I think I already have it. I don't actually like know what it's about, so we'll see what it's about. We're gonna get started, see how far we get. Hopefully we can finish this within the time frame. I am on chapter 8 now and 15% of the way through, so I feel like I have a slightly more decent idea of what this book is about. It seems like it's about, basically there's a main character, she has a couple of friends, and she has been single for far too long, in her opinion, and she is just like looking for someone to settle down with essentially. So she's been going on a bunch of dates over the last like year. None of the dates have been panning out, and she eventually goes on this date with this guy who's just terrible, like a terrible guy. At the end of the day, he insists on walking her home, and so she leads him off to like the wrong apartment because she's not going to take him to her real place. He tries to assault her, which is kind of wild, but there's someone there who like witnesses this happen, and he steps in and effectively saves her. And then there's also these other chapters that are like before chapters, so it's a bit of a timeline jump, and those ones are with Tom, and he is a boy. He is starting to try to date a girl in his school, and just like, it's more of like a school crush. Like, I think they're in high school maybe. So my guess is that Tom is the mystery guy that she doesn't actually know yet, who like came in to like save her. And I guess supposedly it's supposed to be about how he's actually a bad person, even though he seems like a really good person. So we'll see. I don't actually know much more than that. That's like pretty much all I've read so far. It's mostly about the dates up until this point, but sort of like a mix of what I got from the synopsis, as well as like on the back of the book, as well as just from reading the first 8 chapters or 7 chapters. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna grab a snack as well, and we'll see how much more we can get through. It says on my Kindle that I have 6 hours and 40 minutes left of my book, and then it also says on my phone that I have about almost 8 hours left. So if that's the case, then I could definitely finish this book by the time my time is up. I don't know, maybe we'll be able to start one more book, we'll see. But I'm also just hoping that I actually like stay on pace, because I feel myself sort of slowing down on the reading as I get more and more tired, because I got like really tired again. So I need to like sit up, maybe eat a snack, get some water, like get my blood flowing. Anyway, gonna keep reading. So far I'm enjoying it. I think this was like the perfect pace of book, where it's like, it's pretty fast paced. So I do like, there's a lot of things happening, which is something that I can always count on Frida for.
Sydney, Richard and I have gone through an entire box of tissues tonight and a bottle of wine. After each glass of wine, our reminiscing about Bonnie has gotten more and more tearful. Gretchen's eyes and nose are red and putty. The next story would look identical if I checked myself in the mirror.
Okay, so we are now on chapter 15, and we're about 28% of the way through the book, and someone has died now, which I wasn't actually seeing coming. I don't know which set of these characters is like the one that is the problem, if that makes sense. She's not actually dating anybody yet, so I thought that this one was more going to be about like her finding a boyfriend, and then kind of like the show You, where like she's dating somebody and then she finds out that he's actually had been stalking her. I thought it would be more like that, but she's not actually dating anybody. So now I'm just like, it has to be someone that we already know in the series or in the book, but I have no idea which of these characters it could be. So very intriguing. And I also did not expect that this particular character would have passed away by now. So there's that too. Let's continue. I think we're gonna find out some information soon. We are going through the investigation with the police at this point, so hopefully something will come to light in the next few chapters. Okay, I put in my headphones so I can do a few things while I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm just actually putting all the like stuff from last night, bless you, stuff from last night away. And I'm still obviously listening to the audiobook, and we just figured out how 2 of the characters are connected. So like we kind of like, we knew 2 characters without a name, and then a couple of characters with names, and now one of the characters is the same character because now we know his name, if that makes sense. So that's interesting. And I think this book is slightly different than like what I was expecting. I thought this was more going to be about our main character going through some like, what am I trying to say? Like I thought our main character was going to be more in danger, but it's like her friend who was in danger, although I guess she's technically in danger too, so I don't really know. I was not anticipating the death that happened at the very beginning of the book, which was interesting. Let's continue. I'm picking this stuff up. I just made the bed, and then I think I'm gonna go put some laundry away. This is like all the stuff that I like to do when I listen to an audiobook, because it just helps me like, I don't know, like stay focused to do the chores. And then I actually want to do the chores because I want to keep listening to my audiobook. I still have to close this door. Freaks me out that it doesn't close all the way. I'm making another snack. I never know how to say this. Chiboki? I think that's how you say it. They're rice cakes, like spicy rice cakes. And I'm on chapter 28 now of my book, and I think we're finally getting to some juicy parts. Like I was telling you guys before, we finally are at a point where we know who the person is that we're like sort of after, and we're this whole time like sort of also learning about like their history. We're learning about so many different things at one time. We're learning about the main bad guy's history. We're learning about our main character and how she ended up meeting this guy, and then on top of it we're also learning about how the other friend, her friend, our main character's friend, passed away, or like how she was murdered. So there's a lot of things that are happening in this book, but I feel like we're at that like juicy middle section now. I don't know what percentage of the way we're through, but we're on chapter 28, and I think there's like 64 chapters, so we're probably almost halfway through. We're definitely at the juicy part. I cleaned up the house a little bit, just like picked up a few things. I still have a few other things that I need to pick up, but I figured let's make a snack before it gets too too late. It's already 4 o'clock now, so P will be eating soon, and then I'll take him on his walk, and I'll just keep listening to the audiobook while I do that. Honestly, I've been really liking the audiobook. I wish I would have tried this last night because I think it would have helped me stay up a little bit later. But all in all, I mean, like, no matter what, I think I was gonna need to sleep, because even still, I've tried to drink a lot of water and stuff, and I'm just like prone to headaches. And so because of the lack of sleep, I've had this like really dull headache throughout the day, which sounds crazy, but that's like 99% of my days. So it's not necessarily just because of the lack of sleep, but the lack of sleep doesn't help. I knew that this would happen, and this is why I've waited so long to do one of these videos. It's definitely been an experiment and a half for me, and one day I want to try again, but that's probably gonna have to be next winter break, because I never have the time to just like set aside for this kind of activity. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do it again in the future. Anyway, I'm gonna keep my audiobook going, and I'm gonna go make my rice cakes. So we're 70% of the way through now on chapter 45. We now know that there's another character's identity that we've found out. Basically, we know them by 2 different names, and so we just realized that they were the same person. I do think that's something that Frida is really good at, is pointing the fingers at different people, which I guess is what we experienced in the last book too. We initially thought that somebody else like did something in their past and maybe they're still doing that thing, but I think actually it's somebody else. So now, I don't know, it could honestly be either. Well, maybe they're working together. There's a third character that I'm curious how they play into this, or if they're just like a side character meant to throw you off. I don't know if any of that makes sense. I'm trying to be vague so then I don't spoil anything. But we're, yeah, 70% of the way through. We have 2 hours and 49 minutes left. And in our timer, we have 4 hours and 41 minutes left. So we're actually making okay time right now. I just moved back over to the couch. I straight up have no idea which person is actually doing the bad things. There's so many aspects of like what's happening right now that I don't actually know who like the bad person is. And it's interesting because this person is surrounded by so many, all of these people are a little bit bad. So then it's like you kind of just have to figure out who is the most bad and who has the most potential intentions to do bad, I guess. I don't know. This one is actually like pretty good. I feel like a few of Frida McFadden's books have sort of fallen a little flat for me recently, but this one actually has kept me on my toes for quite a bit of the way through. We're at 80% now, so we only have like 10 chapters left too. Like, I want to know what's gonna happen. Oh my god, you guys, this is so well done. I am on chapter 61, so I still have a couple more chapters to listen to. I was wrong about so many things. I was wrong about who is who in this book and like the names of what characters or which person, and also about who the murderer was. So now I know who the murderer is, and now I need to know all of the details about it because I don't understand why, when, where, why, what, like all of it. This one's a good one. I really like this one a lot. I just finished The Boyfriend and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I don't think it was like a 5-star, but I think for Frida it was pretty well done. And I don't know, I just feel like all of her books are like kind of the same, but the twists are what get me, and this twist was really, really good. So I really enjoyed this one. There was one last murder that happened at the very end of the book, and well, first of all, the whole end of the book I was not expecting at all. The twist was crazy, and then also just like what ended up happening at the end was also wild. And then there's one last murder, and that was just kind of like, it felt unnecessary. We don't need to play God, you know what I mean? But anyway, I finished that. I think it was still really good. I highly recommend that one, especially if you're looking for just like a quick read. Honestly, on my Kindle I was reading it really fast, but because I'm tired today, I think the audiobook was easier. What I read next, because, oh, it's actually 6:48, which is exactly 3 hours until my reading challenge is up. It will be ending at 9:48. Okay, sorry, my battery died, so I had to go get a new battery, but I was trying to decide what to read next because I have 3 hours until, oh, that's what I was saying. I accidentally swiped away the like timer, but I remember that we started at 9:48 p.m. Don't know why I remember that, so I just set a new alarm for 9:48 p.m. so that it would go off whenever it's done. I'm debating between a few books. I was thinking about reading The Teacher by Frida McFadden, but then I was thinking about just reading something that's maybe a little shorter. So there's also The Housemaid's Wedding, which is a short story. The audiobook really saved me during this challenge, but this one does not have an audiobook with it. So back to the Kindle we go. I am on chapter 7. There's actually only 11 chapters in this like short story, so I think we're gonna finish a little early, but we'll see what happens. This short story is basically the wedding day of two main characters, and if you guys don't already know what the main series is about, it's essentially about this girl named Millie, and she becomes a housemaid, and weird things are happening in the house, and ultimately she has to defend her and one of her clients. And later on in the series, she goes on to defend more clients. So in this short story, it's her wedding day with another character, and she is getting some threatening messages from past clients' spouses, just basically, or one particular person, basically just threatening her and just kind of scaring her so far. It sounds like the guy is potentially like actually going to act on his threats, because otherwise there wouldn't be a story about it. It seems interesting so far. Honestly, I really like these characters a lot, and so it makes it really easy to jump into a short story because I already know the characters really well, so that's really helpful. But I am curious what's going to happen because we only have 5 chapters and an epilogue left. Sometimes I wonder like how much can happen in that much amount of time, but we shall see. We have 50 minutes left of the book. It's 7:45 right now, so we still have about 2 hours of reading left. I can't believe we're this close. Like, I didn't register that we're this close, but we got this. I finished The Housemaid's Wedding. I originally was gonna give it 2 stars, which I feel like was just being kind of aggressive for no reason, because it wasn't bad, but it was just like, didn't need to be a book. I don't know how else to say that in a better way. It was literally just about these 2 characters getting married, so it wasn't actually that important to the story. Anyway, I have had Red Dragon on my shelf for literal year, probably like 8 years at this point. So I decided that's what I'm gonna pick up next. It was ready to borrow from the Libby app, and I have 1 hour left. It is 8:50 right now, and this challenge ends at 9:48. And I'm just gonna read as much as I possibly can within that 1 hour, and we'll see how far I get into Red Dragon. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's where we're at. I feel like I can't form thoughts anymore because I'm so tired. Let's just read as much as we can at this point. We did it! We did it, you guys. I made it a couple of chapters into Red Dragon, but I think I need to put it down for now. And now I'm so ready for bed. But I had such a fun time doing this. I've always wanted to try to do one of these, and I think this was, again, like I was saying earlier, a good first attempt at doing a 24-hour reading vlog. I definitely think that I would want to do this again in the future, but it's just hard for me to find time between work to be able to actually do this. But I think it was really fun. I think it's just hard for me these days to stay up as long as I possibly can, but maybe I need to like start this in the morning one time or something along those lines instead. I don't know. Either way, it was a fun time. We read quite a few books. We finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and then we also read The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and then also The Housemaid's Wedding by Frida McFadden, and then we started Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. I actually have this one as a physical copy, so I'll likely be reading this one in another vlog very soon. But again, for now, I think I just need to rest because my eyes feel very tired. I don't know if I would consider this a fail or a like accomplishment because I didn't stay up the entire 24 hours. So technically, I guess in that sense, it's a fail, but I did do a lot of reading, and that's all I can really ask myself to do because it's really hard to stay up for 24 hours. So maybe we'll try this again, but either way, I had a lot of fun, and that is going to be all for today's video. I desperately need some sleep, so hopefully, yeah, I don't think I have a lot of reflecting to do other than that was fun and I enjoyed myself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. If there's ever anything that you guys do want to see in the future, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I always love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on videos, what videos you like to see from me, all that kind of stuff. It's always fun for me because I want to know what you want to see. Thank you guys for being here and for spending time with me as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.